Today we're doing a business tour with the CEO of Green Mango Pest Control, Cameron, and he's going to be giving us an entire breakdown of how 13 years ago he started a pest control company with one truck. Fast forward to today, he did over $24 million in revenue in 2023 alone with over 165 employees. We're gonna be touring his entire facility of over 30,000 square feet, following him on a couple of different jobs, breaking down the entire business, how he got from where he was to where he is today. So make sure you stay till the end of the video. Cameron, you have quite the operation here at Green Mango.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're a young guy, obviously, and you have, what, 165 employees at Green Mango?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you get involved initially? Like, how did you get into the pest control world?
My good buddy who got me into recruiting came back and was like, hey, I'm gonna start this company with or without you, but I want you to do it. And I'm gonna call it Green Mango. And I was like, that's the dumbest name I've ever heard. Like, flat black trucks, Green Mango, what are we doing, man? I'm good. And he just stayed persistent, luckily. And it probably took about 2 months to talk me into it.
Yeah.
And we started with one truck and just started knocking doors.
You're in a massive building now. How many square feet are we standing in right now?
This whole facility's, I think, around like 35,000 square feet.
Wow.
So yeah, we run over a little over 100 trucks a day. The CSRs, the routers, the billing, the accounts, like if you would have told me I would have been here 13 years ago, like I would have called you a liar for sure.
What was like the initial investment getting in, getting that first truck? Like, I would imagine you guys didn't have a lot of money at the time. You were just trying to put it all together, right?
Well, we didn't have any money. He brought a truck to the table, and when I got home from my mission, it was really cool. My dad told me, like, hey, if you go on a mission when you get home, I'll buy you any truck you want. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I got home and he was like, hey, we can go get a truck, or your brother-in-law is flipping houses in Phoenix. And you can go buy, believe it or not, 2 houses. I don't even know if I can call them houses. Like, they're like sheds, but I bought 2 houses for 50 grand. And that's what allowed me to live, because we didn't take any money from Green Mango for 6 years.
Wow.
So the rent that I was making, it was $750 from one house, and I think it was $1,200 to $1,300 on the other. I lived off about 2 grand for the first 6 years of Green Mango. I brought a truck to the table. He brought a truck to the table. And we just started knocking doors, and about 6 months in, we were like, okay, if we want to really grow this, we got to get out of this like knocking doors technician mentality. We want to hire a summer sales team, because that's all we knew at the time, or I should say my partner knew. I'd never been really a part of it. So we started recruiting these guys. Well, you got to front commissions at the kind of the end of summer, and you definitely can't cash flow pest control accounts within the first year. So we went to my dad, and we originally borrowed, I think it was 60 or 65 grand for like 5 or 10% equity. And over the following 2 years, so we're 2 to 3 years into Green Mango now, we ended up taking 250 grand from my dad. He owns 20% equity of Green Mango now, but that was the original seed money that put in. So over 3 years, 250 grand.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To see what you've done in that length of time, not paying yourself for over 6 years. I mean, that is like the definition of what you have to do as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me a bit about like the matte black with the Green Mango, and like you've got custom wheels on all of your trucks. Were you guys doing that day one?
So that was probably Dusty and I's first fight. We literally had 3 grand left in our bank account, and Dusty's like, hey, I'm putting rims on the truck. I'm like, dude, we're not gonna make payroll. He's like, our brand is everything, and we gotta make sure the rims are on the truck. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. Go buy the $2,500 rims, $500 left in the account. Our touch and feel with the customer, whether that's the truck, the marketing packet, the uniform the technician wears, we'll never sacrifice on that, because that's the experience that the customer remembers and wants to be a part of. Our whole goal is that when a truck rolls up to your house, you want the neighbors to kind of get that keeping up with the Joneses feel, like, oh, they're using Green Mango. And then when their bug man shows up in the white nasty truck, and he's got like a beard and like he's just a nasty uniform, like we want people to be like, dude, I'm proud of Green Mango coming up.
So talk to me a bit about the evolution, of Green Mango. You had that first truck, then you talk about, going and wanting to delegate, right? Like, how did you get the second truck on the road, and the third and the fourth?
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that we made as a partnership, is we literally rode together in one truck for over 4 years. Like we would go spray houses together, and then we'd come back and, you know, he might do the billing and I might do the routes for the next day, but we didn't do a great job at delegating until we were almost forced to. Our customer referrals were just like carrying us. They would just outperform anything that we did. And so we had to hire that tech manager, or we had to hire that office manager. And once we did, it was the weirdest feeling, because we went from working like truly 16 to 18-hour days down to like a normal 8-hour day. And I felt so lazy. And that's where like all the other companies started, because we almost like worked ourselves out. We hired ourselves out of a job, and it just felt so weird.
Do you think most entrepreneurs struggle with that?
Everyone that I talk to, it's like the first question that they ask is, hey, how do I get off the truck? And so for us, it was, I literally had to tell the office finally, like, I am not a technician. You can't look at me as a technician, because what would happen is I'd go to them and be like, hey, I don't want to spray any houses anymore. Probably after a year of this insanity of just like, I don't want to do it, but I didn't want to let my customers down, we finally got smart enough to hire what we call rovers. So meaning if on average, every single day, 2 to 3 people call out, then we need to have 3 rovers on call that they come in until 9 o'clock to make sure all routes are filled. And that's what kind of relieved me finally of getting off the truck. But so many people want to get off the truck and see the need for it. And then they say, I want to get off the truck, but then they get suckered back in with like not wanting to let their customers down. So then you got to take the next step and like put in place to where you're not that guy filling in, you have a rover in place.
I hope you're enjoying the business tour so far. Really quick, if you wouldn't mind, if you know of a business that you think would be a really cool tour, or if you own a business that you would like to get featured, all you have to do is text 480-418-5339, the word business, okay? Again, 480-418-5339, the word business, and we'll see if you qualify or if the business qualifies for us to go ahead and tour it. Now let's just go ahead and get back to the tour. Cameron, talk to me about 2023. What type of revenue numbers are you gonna hit?
So we'll hit $24 million in revenue at Green Mango.
Just that one company?
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey, man. Last year we did 19, so we saw huge growth this year.
Everybody's talking about the market and everything like that. Did that affect you in any way, shape, or form?
We saw it on cancellations a little bit, but our growth, like I said, I mean, we grew by almost a little over 20% top line. Our lowest is $84 every two months. Okay. And we saw that demographic of people kind of tighten up a little bit.
You talked about the $84 every other month, right? Is that your most popular package, or which one is the most popular?
Well, our minimums now are $115 every 2 weeks. Okay. So sometimes there's a little bit of play depending on the lot size and what we're going for, but our average contract values are between $800 and $900 a year right now. But if you're just calling in today as a new, hey, I just heard about Green Mango, we start with GPC. GPC is general pest control, your scorpions, roaches, crickets, earwigs, all that kind of stuff. And then when we go out, we'll assess the property, make sure there's no termites. A lot of people are in heavier areas like for mosquitoes or weeds.
And you do mosquitoes now too, right?
Yep, we launched that about 2 or 3 years ago. It's been awesome.
So is that different from all of the other, insects and stuff that you are spraying for? Like, are you literally using a different type of solution?
It's a different type of product and a different application method. So with our general pest control, we use truck mounted power sprayers. Our whole goal is to get product into the second and third layers of thatch under the dirt where the bugs are actually living and harboring. A lot of companies just spray the surface. And then with the mosquito treatment, it's more of a tropical treatment around your bushes, shrubs, where the drip lines are. Maybe you have a stagnant water section because of the sloping of your yard. We'll spray that area for you.
What has been your best month ever? And I guess with the subscription model, they're probably all fairly similar. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it always varies between 2 to 300 grand difference, depending on how many new initials we do. But our best month was 2.1, and that was in August of this year. What was really cool is it took 10 years to hit $1 million in revenue each month, and then it took 2 years to get up to 2 million.
Wow.
So from that 10-year mark, and then 2 years later, like we doubled to 2 million that month. So
what is one of the biggest challenges that you faced in getting Green Mango to 24 million in top line revenue?
Well, at the beginning it was hiring technicians. It's really difficult when you only have 6 to 8 guys to find a great technician that you want a part of your culture. we're so big now that when we say, hey, we're hiring, like you have 100 technicians that we encourage them to post. We give them a bonus for posting. If everyone reaches out to 3 or 4 people in their demographic, like we can reach 400 people within that same, group that's looking for a job. The second one would be keeping up with myself as a leader, as the owner. I need to be reading books. I need to be bettering myself with my leadership skills because I haven't always done a great job of controlling the culture by leading by example, if you will. So, I mean, these companies and these people, like now I'm in front of 15 managers and they're looking to me for guidance and training and how I want the company ran. And there's times of Green Mango where looking back like, man, I did a really bad job at this.
Yeah.
And then there's times like, dude, when I was, when I doubled down on like a life coach and started to understand human behavior and ego and being open to feedback, like I feel like I jumped up 100 times, and that's where I really leveled up. That was in 2018 when I hired that coach. And I've seen a huge difference in the power of leveling up yourself as a CEO. I always thought like, oh, I didn't go to college, cool, I don't have to like go through that stage of learning. But whether you go to college or you start your own company and bypass college, you're gonna have to educate yourself if you wanna be a leader. And if you don't, your team will pay for it, and you're setting that cap for the people within your company. I literally love coming to work because my people make me happy when I come here. They love to be here. You saw the routing room, like they're decorating their offices, the CSRs, they're smiling, they're laughing. If you go into a lot of call centers, like people aren't happy. People aren't excited to come to work. They work in a call center. You'll see here, like people are happy, and that's what makes me happy.
Dad, are you doing anything else to drive the new clientele?
I mean, we're almost on anything and everything that you can. We spend over $2 million a year on marketing. Our radio contracts have been over $500,000 a year, and our customer referrals will almost outperform them 2 to 1.
Wow.
And so it's the best customer. When you have a friend or family member saying, hey, sign up with these guys because they're the best, it's just so of course we do Google, we do Instagram, we do a lot of influencer marketing, Meta, everything, you name it, we've done it.
If somebody were watching and they were like way smaller than you are right now, right? Like they were just kind of getting started, what would be the one thing you would tell them to focus on to build? So
I would start with having an amazing referral program. Everyone's called us crazy because we give the initial for free. So the person signing up gets a free initial. That's a $200 value. And then you as the customer that's referring your friend, you get a free bi-monthly. So that's a $115 value. So we're talking about almost $300 to $320 for free for signing up. That's what they call the Godfather offer. If I didn't have a huge marketing budget, I was starting today, I'd come up with making sure that I have the best service that people wanted to refer.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'd make sure that my branding was on point, my content was decent, and then spend $3,000 to $5,000 on like Google ads.
You took something that already existed, correct me if I'm wrong, but you made it sound and look and feel better than it maybe even really was. But that to me is a great marketer, right? So how did you do that, and what is the Tri-Block?
When you're scaling a business, you need to be able to duplicate it easily. So when we train 100 technicians, this year we had 50% turnover rate, so we trained over probably 50 to 60 technicians this year. We need to have an amazing program for them so that they can go out and perform the service that we want. So for us, we wanted to brand our service and make sure that not only the customer knew that it was different, but our employees knew that it was different. What we do is called Tri-Block technology. It's 3 massive barriers of protection on the home: the fence line, the yard, and perimeter of the house. But it's not just that, it's the way in which we go about treating it. So when a new technician comes on, we say, look, you came from X pest control company, that's great. We're gonna teach you how to do Tri-Block technology. And it automatically, it's like, whoa, what's this? And that's the same feel that the customer has. We were seeing this like fight at the doors to where we used to explain it as 3 feet up the wall and 3 feet out. Well, that's what everyone else was doing. We wanted to be different.
What are they typically upselling?
Mosquito, termite, rodent station, stuff like that.
Do you have any idea what the percentage of customers out there end up going with one of the upsells or packages?
I don't know the percentage, but everyone needs mosquito. Most people need rodent boxes, 3 to 4 boxes around their house just to make sure. So there's an opportunity with everyone.
So right behind us, you have the Hype Farm store, and what exactly do you do with that?
So this serves 2 purposes. It's for our uniforms, but also we want our people wearing our stuff out, and not everyone wants to wear like a tech shirt out. So we spending extra money on like nice jackets or nice hats, whatever. Like we have foam rollers in here, beanies, whatever it might be. Like we want people to wear our stuff out and advertise for us. And we found that like they want to wear it, they want to rep it, they're proud of the brand.
It's really cool. Let's go take a look at some of it.
So over off to the right, we have all of our snacks for people just to come in and like grab stuff so they don't have to leave to the gas station during the day. And then, I mean, we have face masks, which whatever. We have these cooling neck stuff, and then we have a bunch of different hats and sunscreen, Advil, I mean, you name it. And then, yeah, just shirts. This was fun last year, like when Crocs became really popular. We did the Crocs for everybody. But what's fun, and my kids love this, is like all like the Croc pins of the different companies.
That's super cool.
So just repping that stuff. But like I said, just different type of swag for people, backpacks, beanies, whatever it might be. We just want them to rep our gear out there and be proud of it.
For sure. And then they can come in and they can buy any of this in the morning before they go out?
Yep, yeah. Okay. Oh, and it's for a lot of the office people here. Like I said, you're working hard, like I want a snack, come grab something. There's energy drinks over there in the fridge. Cool, like the 1 gallon water jugs for people. We have it all branded.
A lot of unique clothes and stuff like that. Like who designs everything?
So our marketing team, there's about 5 people in that department, and they handle everything. They're phenomenal.
All right, Cameron, we're out here at a job site right now, and your guys are about to go, and they're about to, get rocking and rolling here. But we got 2 trucks out here right now, and these are beautiful, obviously.
Thanks,
matte black, you got the wheels. Talk to me a bit about the trucks. Like what type of equipment and stuff do you have on the trucks? Has it evolved over the years?
When we first started, we loved the single cab short bed. They're the most cost efficient truck that they had. But about 2 years ago, they stopped selling it, and I was so sad because they only sold an extended long bed. So we had to invest into these extended cabs. I mean, we're very particular about the brand and how they look, and a long bed just didn't fit it for us. So we spent a lot of money on our paint job. We have a proprietary blend that we use for our flat black. So it's got a little bit of, no, it's not a wrap. So it's got a little bit of gloss in it because we went full matte and it would scratch so easily at the beginning. So we have a painter that does it, and he doesn't paint any other trucks flat black like this, so it's kind of cool. And then of course we put 22-inch rims on everything. And the equipment, we used to do electric pumps, which were okay, but we invested a couple $100,000 last year to go to gas pumps. So it's able to put down more product and get that product deeper into the soil, and the guys can move a little bit more thoroughly and quickly too.
Interesting. So. And which one's the pump in the bed of the truck here?
So we're right back here. So we have a Honda gas pump that runs it, and then the pump's connected right to it. So it's called the diaphragm pump right here. So you got that, the pump, and then you have about 300 feet worth of hose to get. Most of the time you can spray an entire house with that. Some of the bigger, larger properties, you have to wind it up and kind of move the truck, but most of the time this takes care of everything. With a 50-gallon tank, the tech can just not worry about product and put it as much as needed at the house. So. Got it.
And do you have anything inside of the cabs of the trucks that people need to be aware of?
So we have an iPad, but the biggest thing that we invested into actually it's been 2 years now, is a camera system that tracks our drivers. So it watches inward and outward, because there's a lot of companies out there that are targeting service companies. They'll slam on the brakes in front of you or try and sideswipe you or blame you for whatever. And it's keeping our guys honest, so they're not texting and driving, obeying the laws of the land.
How many total Green Mango trucks do you actually have right now?
There's about 115 or 117.
I'm curious, what does it cost to build the truck, right? To get the truck, do the wrap, the wheels, and then all the equipment in the truck.
So with the truck, purchase of the truck, the paint, the rims, we're probably around 75 to 80 grand after it's all said and done. Logoed up, reel, pump, toolbox, all the tools that go inside of it.
Is the blend of like the chemicals or whatever that you use, is it proprietary, or are other pest control companies using?
Other pest control companies can use it. Just like anything though, there's the cheap stuff and then there's the really expensive stuff. We've decided to make the investment in a better product so that we don't have as many resources. Some companies try and play the game of maybe a middle of the road product, and okay, maybe if we have 20% reservices this year, we're okay with that. But we've always chosen to to take the higher product because we guarantee scorpion control. And you can't use a middle of the line product by guaranteeing scorpions. They're too hard to kill.
Interesting. Yeah, and we have a ton of scorpions obviously in Arizona, you know. Have you ever thought about taking Green Mango to any other state?
So we have. So we've opened up Utah, California, North Carolina. We've sold them all off. Arizona is just our baby. That's what we're best at. It's home base, and yeah, so now we're just here. I just sold North Carolina 2 months ago.
Oh wow, very cool. Is there anything that technicians need to do to actually, you know, get into the pest control industry? Do they have to like get a license or anything like that?
So you have 3 months to be able to spray without an applicator's license, but after that 3 months, you have to pass the test. It's pretty difficult to go through. You gotta go through a schooling, pass the test, make sure that you understand all the products that you're using.
And then as a company, are there any sort of special things that you have to employ all the technicians like out in the field, or is it just on them to go through the schooling and everything like that?
So we pay, if you're with us, we pay for the schooling, we pay for the test to make sure that you're certified and good to go. And then the only thing that's added in addition to that essentially is just the training programs that we have mandatory. You know, every Tuesday meeting we go over different products, go over front door scripts, and just what we want to be known for as a company.
All right, Cameron, my final question for you is, what has been your toughest or hardest day as an entrepreneur?
Man. So it had to have been in 2019. We launched 5 companies in 18 months. And it was crazy, man. Like everything that you could think of that could have gone wrong, went wrong. And the growth was crazy. So the first year we hit over $1 million in revenue in every single company, which is very unique. So we started a pool company, we started an alarm company, windshield replacement and carpet cleaning, and then our solar company. So it was just like running everywhere, trying to manage people. Our investor that was a part of all those companies in 2018, we came in one day and he was just like, hey, I'm done. Basically, any future investments are just on you guys.
Wow.
And that day I thought my life was over. And up until that point, like that was the hardest day, but I didn't know what would happen a year later. On the exact same day, I had to notify all the pineapple technicians that, hey, like this company just isn't working anymore. We have to sell it.
Yeah.
I had to part ways with a business partner who was a family member, and to like tap it all off. At the end of the day, I was walking up and ICE came into the office. And if you don't have your I-9 forms just showing that, hey, you're a legal citizen, whoever you are, right? If you don't have that documentation, they think that everyone's illegal. When they're there, they're like, hey, what's this company? What's that company? What's that company? And by the end of it, they were looking at all the companies. And it amounted into over like $300,000 in fines that day.
Holy cow.
And I just remember thinking like, this freaking sucks, man. Like, what am I doing? Like, these 3 companies are in growth stages. I don't have the money to fund them. I'm partying with my family members. Like, I'm letting people go and I'm getting hit with fines. And it was just like pound after pound.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
And so after all of that, right, getting hit over and over and over again, you know, at the same time, what would your biggest recommendation be for somebody watching of how you got through it and how you would recommend somebody else get through a hard time just like that?
You just have to get up, and it sounds so cliche, but you just got to get up and keep going. Every entrepreneur has that story of when they wanted to quit, and the ones that just go back to their habits, whatever that might be. It's having a balanced life, which we haven't talked too much about, but just doubling down on your habits that you know make you happy, and just keep going. Yeah. Don't try and solve all the problems in one day, but just solve a little problem each day is what helped me like just continue to get back to where, you know, I feel like I can breathe again.
Truly awesome advice. I really appreciate you for letting us tour your entire business and being vulnerable. Cameron, where can people find you if they want to reach out, get a hold of you, work for you, or talk to you?
Yeah, I love it. So obviously Green Mango on Instagram, where we have our website. My personal Instagram is just Bawden, Bawden. And I always love to connect with people. I love helping entrepreneurs. There's a lot of people that helped me as I was kind of growing. And there's, like we talked about, there's a huge need for people to reach out to people that have been where they want to go or just get advice. And I want to be that person for people. So
awesome. We'll put all that information down below. Okay. Again, thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
And make sure you go check out Cameron, and we'll see you in the next video.